There are moments in your life history where everything changes, shifted my life forever. I was here in Kansas City, and these YWAM guys came into this very room, right where I'm sitting right now, and they said there's coming a shift to the call.
Lou's been filling stadiums for over a decade with prayer and fasting, but the word was about that transitioning to a message of the Great Commission, missions mobilization, evangelism, signs, wonders, and miracles. And that day kicked something off. That culminated on February 23rd at the Send in Orlando, Florida.
Today we receive a shift into a new Jesus movement.
I believe that a bold and fearless generation is coming forth.
You'll carry it back to your cities and to your nations.
We're not going to let it go for another generation. Do it in our time. Do it in our day.
We stood there in awe as 58,000 people worshiping together and declaring that we are in a new era of missions and evangelism, declaring a war on inaction, and that we would do whatever it costs to see the lost encounter Jesus and His love, whether it was our neighbors or the nations. And we walked away from Orlando with this conviction that this was not the culmination. In fact, this was just the beginning.
2, 3.
As we set our eyes on Kansas City, we realized that it is the convergence of three major storylines. 200,000 missionaries launching to the nations of the earth, 80 million salvations in America, a Jesus movement, and 1 million intercessors who would pray for a global harvest. And all of it happening in the very city where the original word for the Send was birthed.
Could we be in something that's way beyond all that we could think or imagine? I'm looking at this thing that as we're coming into Kansas City, and I'm daring to believe a flashpoint where literally the prayer movement and the missions movement would be connected together right into this stadium.
Everybody is called to do the work of missions, and everybody is called to do a little bit of prayer. And the Lord has put the missions movement and the prayer movement together. He wants our partnership in prayer to go hand in hand with the release of greater power of the Spirit in missions and outreach and ministry. And one of the goals to the Send is to raise up 200,000 missionaries that would go to the ends of the earth. But it's also to raise up 1 million intercessors to pray for the missionaries that are going, because the two must go together.
So we are calling for 70,000 to gather from Kansas City, every corner of America, and from the nations of the earth, to Arrowhead Stadium, the loudest stadium in the world, to make the sound of Go so loud that a whole generation could hear it and would respond, first with their voices.
Baptism is symbolic of what Jesus did for us in His death, burial, and resurrection. Being lowered in the water represents our old life dying. Just like Jesus was dead and buried, who we were and what we've done is dead. Our past and future sins are forgiven. When we are raised out of the water, we are reminded our new life is made possible because of Jesus' resurrection. We are a new creation. Today, we celebrate as people take their next step and tell the world how Jesus has brought them from death to life. We celebrate because they have a new life in Jesus. They have been made brand new. They are forgiven. They are a new creation.
Hallo. Dat is helemaal waar je nooit mee moet krijgen. Kom je zo naar